Good morning, students. Today we are going to begin Political Science, Chapter 2. What is democracy? Why democracy? So, in this chapter, we are going to study in detailed manner about what is democracy, features of democracy, arguments against democracy, and merits of democracy. So, let us take every point in detailed manner.
In this module, we will introduce the concepts by distinguishing democratic leaders from authoritarians. We will then explain what is democracy, the features of democracy, followed by arguments against democracy. We will then understand the merits of democracy before finally giving a broader meaning of democracy. Let us now take a look at these images of some democratic and authoritarian leaders of their respective countries. Would it be correct to label all these leaders as democratic? No, it would not be correct to label all these leaders as democratic, as some of them had subverted democracy. What is it that distinguishes them from each other? All of these leaders have their own distinct ideology and leadership style. Some were democratic while others were authoritarian. Salvador Allende, the first elected president of Chile in 1970, was a socialist who introduced various policy reforms to uplift the poor and workers. In 1973, General Pinochet became the president of Chile after taking over power through a military coup. Subsequently, he established himself as a military dictator over the country for 17 years. General Jaruzelski was a Polish military officer and communist who had declared martial law in Poland in 1981. Kwame Nkrumah was initially considered as an inspiration for Democrats in the African country of Ghana. Later, he introduced several policies that restricted the freedom of people of Ghana. What made Allende and Bachelet of Chile democratic? Both were considered as democratic because both of them were elected by the people. They largely served the interests of the public. And finally, they enjoyed power through the ballot rather than the bullet. What is democracy? We will now understand the meaning and various features of democracy. Does every country that holds an election is necessarily democratic? No, every country that holds elections is not democratic. In the contemporary world, every government prefers to be labeled as a democracy. It is important to distinguish between a government that is democratic and the one that pretends to be one. For this purpose, we need to examine the various definitions of democracy and bring out its salient features. Democracy is the most prevalent form of government in the world today, in which the rulers are elected by the people. Participatory democracy strives to create opportunities for all members to make meaningful contributions to decision making.